people going so fast, burning it up, yeah, they be running like that, right past what they want. If they do what I do, and move like I move, here come that magic down in those shoes, and we be walking like this. Hey, hey, the one, the sea, oh yeah, we're walking like this.
Greetings, everybody. We're having the blessed day today. It's amazing and gorgeous day. I hope you woke up with the same sense of, belonging, the same sense of blessing. And today in front of me, I have Daniel Gomez. And Mr. Daniel Gomez, he's an award-winning keynote speaker. He's also a business coach. He's executive coach. He's a corporate trainer and a podcast of the Year Recipient. Daniel, I've seen you blowing all the stages out there. The fire that you bring is outstanding, and I am so honored to have you on my platform. How are you today, Daniel?
Hey, Lona, man, I was planning this for the whole day. I'm excited. I couldn't wait till 2 o'clock, and I'm like, here I am, woo-woo, with the one and only Lona. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to serve you and your audience. So, man, let's have an amazing time, and just let me know what you want me to say or do. I'm all yours.
It's all amazing. I know. It's a PG-13, audience, so we're going to be behaving ourselves today. But Daniel, please let us know what state are you calling us today?
Well, I'm in the big state of Texas. I'm here in San Antonio, the city that I grew up in. I lived all my life, and I just love it here. It's 84 degrees outside. It's a beautiful day, and I'll tell you what, I'm grateful to live in the state of Texas.
Yes, absolutely, for that, Daniel. And I know, behind every strong man, behind every strong message, there's always something that happened to us in the past that made us the people we are today. I know sometimes we can take our negative stories, our painful pivot stories, our adversities in life, and take it to the wrong directions and be bitter. But you took it to make it better. Could you please share with us your childhood story that everybody will be motivated and inspired by it? I'm so excited.
Well, when I was 18 years old, something happened to me that I never expected. I tried to take my life, Leona, and I shot myself. I tried to commit suicide. And from the time that this happened to the time that I got to the hospital, it was literally over 2 hours. So what are the odds of somebody living that long after being shot? Wow. And I should have been dead. I really should have been dead. And I always wondered, why did I live? Because the thing is, once I got out of the hospital, I was in the hospital for 3 months. And after I got out, I was a senior in high school. And I looked in the mirror and I was mad at myself. I hated myself because of the fact that I had a big scar from the inside out, right from the top of my abdominal, from my top of my chest to the lower abdominal. And the thing is that it had to heal from the inside out. So it took longer. And I always wondered, I asked myself, why did I live? Why am I alive? Well, little did I know that years later, God would answer that. And there's a reason for my life. And it's Daniel Gomez Inspires was born. And I can tell you that it took me a while to get over that because, like I said, I carry that scar with me. And I think that scar, I looked at it as a negative scar for many years. And then one day God said this to me is, start seeing that scar as my grace, that you should be dead. But because of my grace, you're alive. And now when I see that scar, it's not the fact that it's not a negative scar anymore. It's a scar of grace because I should be dead. I really, really should. But because of God's amazing grace, I'm here. We're on your amazing show. And it just sometimes you don't understand why things happen or why we go through certain situations or why don't the outcomes come the way we want it. Well, I will say this, that there's a higher power watching all over us. So I'm grateful that I'm alive here talking to you today.
Yes, Daniel, this is so powerful. And I know there's so many teenagers right now are on the verge also to commit a suicide because of the pressure. This is, like social pressure out there, economic pressure, technological pressure out there. So what caused you to take up your life? What was that thing that you were missing that you said to yourself, this is it?
I don't think it was one thing. It wasn't one isolated situation. When I was 10 years old, my mother passed away. She died of breast cancer when I was 10 years old. And I think after my mom was gone, we just moved around all the time. Even as a child, we moved around a lot. And I think just moving around and I lived with my dad and then my sister, and I never had a home, right? I had to learn at a young age to fend for myself. And I think because I had to learn at a young age to fend for myself, it's like I just always had to, how can I say this? I think I had emotions inside of me that it got to the point where I said, I don't care. I don't,
Yes.
I stopped caring about people, right? Like I didn't, at that moment in my life, I was in high school and my high school girlfriend and we broke up and I was just like, I didn't care. You stop, you don't give a crap sometimes. And that's the way I felt because just of the end of the, how can I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Just the unstable, right? I didn't have a home to stay like for 8 years, for 10 years. And I think when I was growing up, one of the things I said is I would love my kids to have a home, not just a house, but a home. And I think out of everything that I've been through in life, all the successes that I've had, the one thing that I'm grateful to God for is the fact that I've been able to provide a home when my children were growing up in school. They went to the same elementary school, they went to the same middle school and the same high school, and they had that stability in their life. And I never did that. I think I just always fended for myself, going back to your question. And then just one day, my senior year, just all the things had just been suppressed for so long that I just kind of snapped, I guess is the word. I wasn't drunk, I wasn't stoned, I wasn't nothing. And I did have we went out to dinner and I just said, why bother, right? Just one of those things that you don't know. But I think it's like anything else. It's like when the pot just blows up, you don't expect it, and the pot just blew up that day.
Wow. And Daniel, like I always admire the people, and I always want to know how to help those who took their life stories or their life, experience, the childhood experience, to become a little bit bitter and mad in the society in themselves. But I always admire people who use that circumstances, and use it as a second chance to say, okay, I can do better. I can do better for somebody else. And you did, Daniel, just like that. You took it. You kind of like said, okay, I had what I had, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to give my children the best life they possibly can have, because they deserve it. God used you. It always takes one person, right? Sometimes we always want to conquer the world. We're going to preach to the nations. But I've been telling everybody, you need to start with your home. Plant that seed with the children. Your children are your world right now. Your home and household is your planet that you need to preach and reach out first, right? To help first. And when you help them, guess what? It's going to be like a trickle effect, like a domino effect. They're going to be doing the same thing. And this planet is going to become a better place to live because of that hope, that dream, that inspiration that you share and plant one seed, one soul at a time. And Daniel, you just did just like that. Please tell me, I've been watching your platform, watching what you speak, and you fire the nations, the millions of people out there. What is your message to the audience, to the world right now?
My message has definitely taken on a different messaging to say, and it's changed, but not a lot. And I think really for me, because I've experienced this, is that as I've grown in more influence, more prominence, there was a point in me last year where I wasn't receiving it. And I wasn't receiving that next level of success, that next level of prominence, that next level of being Daniel Gomez Inspires with the podcast, with Speaker Academy, Sticker Shock, just everything just growing. and our business just doubling in size. And there was a part of me, Ilona, that said that I didn't deserve it, right? I didn't see it though. I felt it. I was upset. And, my wife was just like, the very house you prayed for is the very house you're complaining about, because it's more complex. So we have half an acre, beautiful home. As a matter of fact, we got contractors outside right now. They're working on the driveway, right? It's a different level. It's just a different level. You can't expect a swimming pool, a kiddie sized swimming pool, right? Imagine that, and then you got a pool that's 5-10 times as bigger with jacuzzi. It requires more maintenance. Well, as your life gets more complicated, more complex, there's more pieces to your life.
Yes.
And you have to be able to orchestrate the pieces and move the pieces around and grow into that person and become that. And I can tell you that when that next level came, it wasn't like from level 1 to level 2. The higher you go up, right? The higher you go in levels, level 5 to level 6 is like 10 levels compared to 1 to 2. So it was really that I wasn't deserving of what it was. I had to deal with some issues in me. It took me about 6 weeks to 8 weeks to really kind of heal myself at a deeper level. Because we don't realize this, is we don't realize that those hurts, pains, those shames are there until you get there, right? So you hit those crossroads, that's when you know you're there.
Yes.
So my message to the world right now is this, is that you are worthy and deserving of success. Let me say it again. You are worthy and deserving of success. You are worthy and deserving of God's best. That's my message to the world right now, because too many people undervalue who they are. They undervalue who they are. When you undervalue who you are, your life is going to suffer. Your business is going to suffer. And that's why many small businesses ain't even generating the growth, the capacity, the scaling, the revenue that they need, because of the owner that feels that they're unworthy and undeserving. Yes. And they undervalue who they are.
Yes. Define success.
Well, success is many things, but to me, success has always been putting God first. If you look at my bio on Clubhouse, it says God is my CEO. If you look at my bio on LinkedIn, it doesn't say I'm the president of my company. It doesn't say I'm the CEO. It says I'm the president, because God is my CEO. So to me, it's putting God first, then putting my wife and my children, and then business. And that's success. And when you do that, it's I don't want to say it's easy, because I'm lying, but it's effortless, because I know that God has worked out all the things, and you're able to take off time when you want to, when you have your own business. And I've been able to do that this past year, because my son comes home and I'm able to leave and not work if I don't want to. That's what success is. It's just, if I had to give it something that it's equal to, success equals freedom. And when you have that freedom to be, do, and have whatever you want to do, that is success.
That is awesome. And you know what? I have just resembled with what you just said, the formula for the success. Put God first, then family, and then everything else, like your business. Because my very wise boss that I had the privilege to work for, he said exactly the same thing. Unless you put God first in everything that you do, nothing is going to fall into places. And when you start doing it, trust me, it will all be blessed. It will all be anointed from that point on. And this is the right place. And nobody has ever defined that success in my show like you did. And I'm glad that, you brought this one up, because this is the real, true formula of success for anything that you put your mind and soul into. And yes, we always rely on ourselves. We rely on our systems. We also rely on our good team, dream team. But, we all have to put God as our CEO for everything that we do. And Daniel, you just demonstrated that. And I'm so excited to share the stage with you very soon. You are
yes. And you know what I want to say? I love what you just said. I love what you just said, is that we're so used to always performing, is what you said. We're so used, and believe me, I'm talking about myself, right? We're like these circus animals that have to perform every day. And if we don't perform, they whip us like the tigers. They whip us like the elephants. We perform every day, and we get stuck in that mindset, that conditioning, that programming, whatever you want to call it. So every day we wake up, we perform, we go to these jobs that we hate, We could do the,
Yes.
and we hate them, we really do, but we do it because A, we have to feed our family. I get that. Or B, we tolerate a job or a boss that we really dislike because we're getting paid what we think is a lot of money. And I can tell you that the moment that my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer 4 years ago, and I walked away from that, and I walked away from a prominent title, but I really wasn't happy anymore. Right? I had convinced myself that I loved it, what I did, and I did to a certain extent, but I was already burned out. But what kept me there was the money that I was making. I was focusing on the money instead of focusing on my freedom, my success, like we just talked about. And God honored that because I walked away from a very prominent position to take care of my wife because it was my duty to take care of her. And as time went on, I just said, no, I'm going to start my own business. And because I stepped out in faith, I believe that truly God met me where I'm at. And that's why we've had the success that we've had. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't been easy. But I can tell you that in this journey of becoming, I am not performing like I used to perform, like you were saying, because I know that God is my CEO. And because of that, right? The second thing you said was because I took that step of faith, I'm able to take amazing, beautiful men and women like yourself. And when we're speaking on these stages and we're going to have an amazing time, that's what it's about, right? When it's one thing when you get out of your own way and you're able to take Ileana with you and other people with you and raise them higher and show them and guide them. And it's just beautiful. And that's nothing brings me more joy than that.
Yes, I know, Daniel, and I can see your energy. That's why we got connected because, I saw this authenticity in you. I saw your passion for life that you always, you always inspire somebody else to do it. And you always like so strong with your values. And that's what makes us, it's not that we have to grow up to become a success. We need to grow up to become a value, right? So we can just, this is what defines the success. We need to be, bring that essence into our lives. And I'm so excited for you. And Daniel, I'm not going to say goodbye to you, but we're going to say goodbye to our viewers. So Dios te bendiga. Muchas gracias para todo.
No, well, thank you for having me here. I'm excited. And what I want to give your audience a free gift. They can get my 7 Steps to Fly daily guide. Text the word confident. That's CONFIDENT, confident to the number 26786. And they're going to get my free training, 7 Steps to Fly daily, right? My 7 Steps program every day to my morning routine, an amazing program that they're going to get emails with it, and it really help them to set up and reframe their mindset to get that initial seed planted in them. So text the word confident, CONFIN, right? Confident to 26786.
I'm going to put this information on my feed so they will be able to read it. They will be able to connect with you. They'll be able to find you out there because what you have with this one is amazing. And I really want them to have this special gift from you, Daniel, because what you have is essential, instrumental, and very effective. So this is going to be just
great. Thank you. And then go to Amazon, get my book, You Were Born to Fly. It's going to help you with self-confidence. It's going to help you with reframing your mindset. So go to Amazon and get You Were Born to Fly. It's the best book you'll ever buy. It's going to make a difference in your life. And I want to just say thank you to you for having me. I'm honored. I love your energy. I can't wait to meet you in person here coming up in a couple of months in June. It's going to be amazing. So once again, thank you to everybody for having me here.
I love it, Daniel. God bless you. We know we're going to say goodbye to the viewers, but stay there.